Alrighty, what's going on everybody? This is Lapointe back with another one. Today we're going to show you how to hook a bowling ball. It's something that everybody wants to know. Everybody wants tips and tricks to try and perfect, and we're going to show you that today. So stay tuned, and yeah, let's get right into it. Alrighty, so let's get right into it here. I'm going to throw a little shout out to the 900 Global Exponent. This is I guess the test subject for today's video. Start with the techniques of kind of what you're looking for out of hooking the bowling ball. Really, it's a cupped wrist action. So if you look down the side, this is where you want your hand to be and your elbow to be kind of at release. So when you go to unload and hook the ball, you're looking for a yo-yo motion, kind of like this. And then the thumb will come out first, if I can get my thumb out here. And then the fingers will kind of roll up the back, and then you can manipulate your hand around it. But just for basics, a lot of people think that you're twisting. A lot of people think that you're doing that, but no, it's uncupping. And that's how you generate power. So yeah, let's kind of demonstrate how that goes. And yeah, we'll get into the next step of how to hook a bowling ball. Alrighty everybody, so as you can see from those couple slow motion shots I just mixed in there, the arm is really cupped, and as we got into the foul line, it unloaded like a yo-yo, and that's exactly what you're looking for. One thing I forgot to mention in the intro to that whole little slow-mo segment was the finger placement. When you saw on the last shot there specifically, the fingers were inside the bowling ball. And when you kind of start to unload, those fingers are going to come around the ball, stay underneath the whole time in the bottom half of the equator, and that's kind of where you want your hand to be. And then as you unload, your fingers come around the ball right up the back, and then that's how you get your power. Yeah, I think what we're going to do now is kind of get into a couple drills I like to do and like to recommend for people. So let's get right into that with the foul line drill. That's the first and what I think is one of the most important things you can do in attempting to hook the bowling ball. Alrighty everybody, so the first drill we're gonna tackle here is the foul line drill, and this drill involves no approach whatsoever. It's just so you can you can feel your arm in the right spot, feel your hand in the right spot. So all you're gonna do is set up at the foul line in your finished position or something along those lines. Obviously it's for some it may be hard to be in that position, but you want to be as close to your finishing position as possible. And then you're just gonna swing your arm back a couple times, just keeping it in that cup position, and then just kind of dump it onto the lane. You're not looking for anything fancy. You're gonna throw a lot of shots in the left-hand gutter, and that's a good thing. It means the ball's hooking. So let's and I'll demonstrate that for you right now. So you're just gonna set up, kind of get into your knee bend a little. You're gonna put your arm in the position, and you're just gonna rock it a little bit. Dump it into the lane. And that right there is kind of what you're looking for in that drill. Like I said, it crossed the lane, didn't quite go in the gutter, but there is a lot of oil in the middle of the lane out here. So, but yeah, that's a good start. That's the first drill you're looking at doing. Let's go to the next drill, which is kind of the last one. I only do a couple drills for release, hooking the bowling ball. This next one you can do at home, you can do at the bowling alley. But yeah, let's get right into that. And yeah. Alrighty, so this next drill, like I said, can be done at home, and that's kind of where I've always done it. That's where I've had everybody else do it, because really, who has time to go to the bowling alley every single day? This, you can be at home, you can be watching TV, and get up and do a couple reps of couch bowling is basically what it is. And it's kind of been a thing around Sarnia. It's how a lot of people have developed their game, and I'm sure it's very popular around the world too. But let's get right into it. Basically, all you're gonna do, if you're here anyway, is get your hand set up in the bowling ball, and it's the same thing. as if you're out on the lane there, but instead you're just dumping it into the couch or onto the floor in this case. So you're gonna, that's about it. So if you're doing it into the couch, I don't recommend absolutely hurling it into the couch because obviously things break. But yeah, that's kind of what you're looking to do with that drill, is the same thing, just to get the wrist in the right spot. And that's about what hooking the ball is. Everything else leading up to it, people with high backswings, people with low backswings, as you can see, mine's a fairly low backswing and I still generate a half decent amount of power. So yeah, that's basically the two drills that are going to get you into the best physical state to hook the bowling ball. Let's get into closing out this video. We'll throw a couple more shots for you guys, and yeah. Alrighty, so one thing I kind of forgot to mention before we close the video out is for more advanced bowlers, people who have been doing it quite a while, people looking to get a little bit more in-depth knowledge, is hand position, because really you can make one ball do different things based on where you're releasing it from. So let's say, just throw a situation out there, you're bowling on a shorter pattern. If you have a lot of axis rotation on the bowling ball, chances are the ball is going to be violently reacting at the end of the pattern. So you may want to keep your hand a little further under the ball. Whereas maybe if you're on dry lane conditions, you're in to the left, you're trying to let it fly. It's easier to get the ball through the fronts if your hand's a little more around the ball. So I guess what we'll do before we close out the video is throw a couple shots with your hand behind it, around it. I'll move around the lane, and you can kind of see how the ball reacts off the spot in different parts of the lane. So let's get into that, and then yeah, after that we'll close out the video. As you can see there, I stood a little further to the right on the first couple shots. The one I kept my hand further up the back struck. The one I got around it did not. It got 4, I think. So we got to the left, and we tried that right up the back roll again, and it didn't finish. It got to the head pin. The pattern, they're hooking quite a bit today, but it got to the head pin, but it just had no drive, even if it went flush, probably with a 10 pin, wrapped the 6 around the 10. But when we got our hand around it, it had that drive off of the spot to get around it and even trip the 4 pin. And then yeah, kind of mixed in a stock shot, hand position there, and it happened to be perfect. And that's kind of what you're looking for out of the hand release changes. Obviously, ball motion is manipulatable in a million different ways. You can do a bunch of different things to make it do different things. But yeah, that's a hand position thing. So now what we're going to do is get into closing out the video. Alrighty, everybody, that kind of wraps up what we learned today. Just to recap, I kind of showed you a few drills to do, kind of showed you the proper hand position, what you're looking for at the line physically. Like I said before, you can get to the line whatever way you want. People do it in a million different ways, but as long as you have that basic fundamentals of unloading at the bottom, then hooking the ball will be a piece of cake. Let's see if we can finish it with a bang. We'll throw one more shot here. Let's see if we can get a strike. Do it for the outro. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.